Hello Internet, KTChamberlain here again. 11 years ago, I started a string of videos that were heavily inspired by Linkara's History of Power Rangers retrospective. I took the general premise and applied it to the then popular web series Super Mario Bros. It was an experiment that was well received by many, including the people I know who've worked on the show. Before I reviewed Season 5 in 2012, my intention was to take the same approach, but with the other Nintendo-based web shows that were inspired by Super Mario Bros., like Panigi Chronicles, The Waluigi Show, and so on. However, after I reviewed Season 5, which ended with me saying that the next show I was going to review was Bowser's Minions, I began to see the writing on the wall, and it was becoming less and less feasible. In my review of Operation Blindstorm, I explained the process that went into making these videos specifically. In case you haven't seen it, here's how it goes. I download and watch the entire season, writing up a synopsis, summarizing said season, coupled with notes from behind the scenes when necessary, and then I watch the next season and make the necessary revisions to the summary, especially if I come up with a joke or two, which really helps with the analysis. This process was all well and good for something like Super Mario Bros., but then it became less and less feasible with the other Nintendo-based web shows. I looked into the other shows, painstakingly cataloging the dates the first episodes were uploaded. The idea was that since Super Mario Bros. Began in December of 2007, it would be the first. The show that would follow would be the first uploaded earliest in 2008. That led me to Bowser's Minions. It was hard cataloging what would be the next show to watch in that order, but at least it had a sense of continuity. However, another problem became apparent. Many of the web shows that were slated to be reviewed were taken down by their own content creators, probably out of a sense of regret or embarrassment, despite the fact that I was going to give each season the benefit of the doubt and cut them some slack. Many of the clips I used in later intros to History of Super Mario Bros. Were from just such web shows taken down by their own creators. So it just didn't make sense for me to review a web show one day and then the next its creator would take the episodes down, even if I did sing praises. So that idea fell through. I then began to toy with the idea of rebooting History of Super Mario Bros., starting over, and this time around I would add more behind-the-scenes info and apply it to seasons that came after Season 5, like Plumber Night, Super Mario World, and Super Mario Legacy. It was a good idea at the time, but in the years since then, I got more and more preoccupied with my book series and other videos I uploaded. So let me go over 3 reasons why I'm officially canceling the reboot idea of History of Super Mario Bros. Number 1. Annoying comments. Often in the past 4 years or so, whenever I did upload a video, there was always that one annoying comment asking, when am I going to review Plumber Night and Super Mario World? Comments like that piss me off, not because of the question itself, but because they're not at all relevant to the video that I had spent a considerable amount of time and energy into. When I make a video, I want comments to be relevant to the video itself, especially if they offer critiques and feedbacks. I welcome critiques and feedback. It helps me learn. It's gotten to the point where it contributed in part to me canceling the reboot idea. It's not the first time I've gone back on an idea. Recall how I was going to review the other Nintendo-based web shows until that idea fell through. There have been lots of video ideas that I had that have fallen through for one reason or another. There was even a time when I was going to plan on abridging Fruits Basket, back when abridging was very popular. It sounded like a good idea on paper. Hell, I even had some lines I still find funny, but abandoned the idea for 2 reasons. One was that it was too ambitious for me to have some of the RMA cast do it at the time, and another was that others beat me to the punch and I didn't have anything better to offer. I could go on with other scrapped ideas. Number 2, I've been rather disillusioned by Plumber Night and Super Mario World. I watched a little of both, and I got so bored that I lost interest altogether, and Super Mario Legacy, I didn't even bother watching it. I wasn't even in it. Richie didn't bother to call me and ask, hey Kevin, we've got another SMB thing going. Would you like to reprise Yoshi or even play a certain character? If he did, I would have said I'm listening. And don't take that to mean that I bear Richie any ill will like I did at the time when I recorded my review for Season 5. I've gotten over it since then. We reconciled. Although, side note, it is rather funny how life imitates art, because in Super Mario Bros. The movie Act 1, Yoshi was really pissed off with Mario for good reasons, and at the end of the football scene in said movie, Yoshi and Mario reconcile, in real life, our reconciliation was actually not too different. And the final reason why I've decided to cancel the reboot idea of History of Super Mario Bros. Is because it dawned on me that I really don't have much more to add, even to the seasons that I really, really liked, like seasons 1 through 3. It's more than likely I'd be repeating myself how bored I am with Plumber Knight and Super Mario World and even Super Mario Legacy, if that's the case. It's like when I recorded my commentary over Richie's old movie Lord of the Rings, The Five Towers. The Christmas party scene was the reason why I dreaded covering that movie, because it was 11 minutes long, took up a third of the movie, which was 39 minutes long, and it was super boring. I feel the same with Super Mario World and Plumber Knight. I don't regret my stint on Super Mario Bros., nor do I regret doing History of Super Mario Bros. It was a fun experiment, and that's pretty much what I do on my channel. I experiment with various ideas for better or for worse. History of Super Mario Bros. Was fine for the time, but that time has moved on. It's like how the Hollywood landscape was starting to change by 1928 for movie icons like Charlie Chaplin, Douglas Fairbanks, Mary Pickford, and D.W. Griffith. From 1914 to the early 1930s, comedies were more or less the dominant films, whether long or short. When Chaplin made his 1928 film The Circus, it ends with the circus leaving the little tramp behind, a clever visual metaphor for how times were changing for Hollywood. Fast forward to today, and you'll notice that the superhero craze that reignited in 2008 for Hollywood, it's now waning. Now, even though I've canceled History of Super Mario Bros., I'm actually toying with the idea of 11 things you never knew about Super Mario Bros., assuming that I can find 11 things that you don't know about Super Mario Bros. Bear in mind that this won't be a top 11 list, but I also have one other video essay covering the genius in storytelling behind the fight scenes of the first 3 seasons. I could also do a remastery of History of Super Mario Bros. Where I settle on a consistent opening, have the footage in widescreen, and have the Season 4 review be 1 part rather than 3 like last time. If nothing else, consider this my way of trying to make it up to you who've all been looking forward to a reboot of this retrospective. At least those 3 things will be my last oorah into Super Mario Bros. As to when I'll get around to any of those is a long way off, so until then, when I upload a video, please behave and don't ride my ass about any of those video ideas. Keep the comments relevant to the video. This is KTChamberlain. Thank you for watching.